各位师兄，大家晚上好。因为今天我们基本上都是可能是学佛的啊，那么这样子的话，那我们今天晚上就本来我们的这个题目是佛教与人，那么我是从另外一个角度去这个揭示佛教，本来就是这样子打算的。
So good evening to everybody here tonight. I think probably everybody here are students of Buddhism. The topic of tonight's teaching is Buddhism, a humane approach, and my original intention was to introduce Buddhism from a different kind of perspective.
但是我们现在我看到我们大部分都是学佛的。那么这样子的话呢，这个题目呢还是这个题目，但是呢内容我想稍微这个侧重点角度换一下讲。
So arriving here tonight, discovering that most of you in fact are students of Buddhism, I'm going to keep the original topic, but I'm going to change the angle from which I address tonight's teaching a bit.
所谓的这个侧重点或者是角度换的意思，就是说，就是我们讲一个比较纯正的佛法。
So what I mean by changing the angle or the focus of tonight's teaching is talking about things from a more pure Buddhist approach.
当然我们比如说我们今天这个当中呢，可能是也许有还没有进入佛门的或者是还没有信仰的也会有的，但是可能是少数。
Of course, among the audience here tonight, there are possibly people who are not Buddhists, who haven't come to Buddhism yet, or don't have a Buddhist faith. It's possible that there are a few people like this.
如果有这样子的话也没关系的，大家也可以了解一下佛教，看看佛教到底在讲什么。
But if this is the case, it's not a problem. For these people, they can just have a listen and gain some kind of understanding about what Buddhism is about.
首先我们讲今天的我们的这个题目是佛教与人
So tonight's topic is Buddhism, a humane approach.
那么佛教与人的意思呢，就是说佛教里面讲的这些绝大部分的尤其是这个核心的这些东西呢都跟人有关系，跟神没有关系，就是这个意思。
So when we talk about Buddhism and the human, what we're really saying is that the greater majority of Buddhist teachings relate to humans. They are not related to, say, gods or deities.
首先释迦牟尼佛他是佛教的创始人那么释迦牟尼佛呢，他就是一个人，他不是一个神。
So to begin with, the Buddha, the Sakyamuni Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, was a person. He was not a god or a saint.
所以从这个角度来看的话，佛教跟西方的宗教还是有一定的区别。
So if we look at it from this perspective, we can see that Buddhism is, in this perspective, somewhat different from the Christian tradition.
但是西方的这个神，它也许有其他的意思如果有其他的意思的话呢，那么有可能在某一种层面上我们讲的佛和这个神也许是一体。
Of course, it may be possible that God is to be understood in the Christian tradition in numerous ways. And it's possible if God is understood in these ways, then in fact God and Buddha may be comparable concepts.
这个我们还要进一步的去研究。
But this is something that we will have to continue to research and understand further.
也许这些古老的宗教或者是古老的智慧在某种层次上它是通的。
it's possible that these ancient forms of wisdom and these ancient traditions are at some level, talking about the same things.
这个就是要依靠我们今天的人啊，怎么样去理解上帝，怎么样去理解神啊，跟这个有关系。
But whether or not this is the case depends on how we today understand these concepts of God, gods, etc.
那么佛教的创始人释迦牟尼佛，他是人，那么他就是一个人啊，从什么也不懂，一无所有，一无所知，一个这样子的人，从零开始一步学习修心啊，最后就是成佛的。
So the Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, as a human, as a person, started off from a departure point, an original position of complete ignorance, not knowing anything, zero, and through study, practice, gradually ascended in his wisdom.
释迦牟尼佛当初最开始的时候呢，他不仅仅是不是佛，不是神啊，而且在人类当中啊，就是一个非常非常低层的人啊，一步一步开始学习的。
So not only was the Sakyamuni Buddha to start with not a god or not a deity, his beginning point was as a person in a very low position, a person at a very low level, from which he gradually ascended in his practice.
很多人说这个所有的宗教啊，它的这个来源是人类对这个大自然的恐慌。
A lot of people say that the origin of all religions is the fear and terror with which human societies have had towards the natural environment.
因为我们比较早期的时候呢，人类对这个大自然的认识不深，认识不够，很多问题他们没有办法解释，没有办法解决。
The reason being that in relatively early times, people's understanding of the operation of the natural environment was rather lacking, and many problems they were incapable of solving and addressing.
这个时候，他们需要有一个比较神圣的东西来安慰自己，或者是作为自己的精神的支柱依靠。
And at such a point in time, what humans needed was some kind of sacred power in which they could find solace.
但是我们从佛教的经典看的话，佛教不是这样子的。
However, if we approach Buddhism from the Buddhist sutras, then we can see that in fact Buddhism is not like this.
释迦牟尼佛他29岁的时候去出家修心。
The Sakyamuni Buddha took vows or left home, renounced his home at the age of 29 to practice.
在他没有出家之前呢，他就是在过这个皇宫宫廷的生活，在这个宫廷里面呢，他没有什么恐慌。
Before he renounced his worldly life, he lived as a prince in the royal palace, and at that time didn't feel any fear or terror towards the external world.
但是从表面上看，这个时候释迦牟尼佛似乎就是不是很了解外面的世界。
At a superficial level, the Buddha at this point didn't have a thorough understanding of the world outside.
因为这个皇宫里面的生活跟外面的这个生活之间的差距实在是非常非常的大。
The reason being that the difference between the life he led inside the princely palace and the world outside was extremely vast.
在这个之前呢，佛陀在这个之前就是他没有，因为这个宫廷的生活该有的都有了，所以就没有太多的考虑到外面的世界是什么样子。
Because he lived a life of such abundance inside the palace, where every need was utterly catered for, he didn't have much need to really turn his mind to what the outside world was like.
那么有一天呢，释迦牟尼佛就是出这个朝廷的门外去这个看周围的世界。
On one day, however, the Buddha left the palace to see what the outside world was like.
然后就是在这个皇宫之外看到了太多的他出乎意料的事情。
And upon leaving the gates of the palace, saw so many things that really exceeded his imagination.
就是有人生病
He saw illness,
有人死亡，
people dying,
然后有人贫穷
people in poverty.
等等看到了太多的不公平的痛苦的现象。
Saw so many unjust and suffering situations of suffering.
这个时候释迦牟尼佛不叫释迦牟尼佛，这个时候就叫做悉达多太子。
At that point in time, the Sakyamuni Buddha was not called a Buddha, he was known as Prince Siddhartha.
那么他看到了这个外面的世界的时候，这个对他的触动非常的大。他看到外面的世界的时候，这个对他的触动相当的大。
And so the shock that the outside world gave to him, seeing it, was extremely big, strong.
然后呢，他回来了以后呢，一直都在想这个他所看到的这些事情。
And upon returning to the palace, continually thought about what he had seen outside.
然后他一直都心里面呢放不下这些所看到的这些事情。
And was not able to put out of his mind the things that he'd seen.
然后他就下决心，一定要找一个解决这些问题的方法。
And so from that point in time, he resolved that to find some means to solve or eradicate these kinds of suffering.
但是他非常的清楚，这个宫廷里面呢没有解决这个问题的方法。
He was clear, though, at that point, that within the confines of his princely palace, he would not find the means to end or solve these problems.
他非常的清楚，他的父亲虽然是国王，但是呢，这个国王的力量、这个权力是不能解决这些所有人的问题。
He was clear, for example, that his father, who was king, the power of his king, despite it being extremely great, was not enough to solve the problems of the people he had seen outside.
这个时候呢，他就下决心他就离家出走，他把这个一切都放下出去寻找一个解决这些痛苦的方法。
So at this point, he resolved to abandon everything, to renounce his worldly life, and to go out into the world to find a means to end this suffering.
然后释迦牟尼佛的父亲，也就是当时的国王，叫做金藩王。
The Sakyamuni Buddha's father was known as金
藩王。对对，然后这个金藩王他就知道了这个他的太子的这个动机。
So his father knew about his son's motivation.
然后呢，用军队日夜就守着不让他出去。
And employed the military to keep watch over his son, preventing him from leaving the palace.
但是呢，释迦牟尼佛看到这个悉达多太子，就看到了这个外面的这些人的痛苦以后呢，他就下决心，他一定要想一切办法要离家出走。
However, Prince Siddhartha, knowing and seeing the suffering of the people outside the palace, led him to resolve, to give his firm resolve to finding any and every means at his disposal to leave the palace and attempt to solve these problems of suffering.
然后呢，他离家出走的这种想法，他一直都没有放弃。
And so never gave up or abandoned his resolve of renouncing his worldly life.
最后，他成功的逃出去。
And Finally, he was successful in escaping the palace.
这个时候呢，我们由此可见佛教释迦牟尼佛创建一个这样子的佛教的它的动机不是因为对大自然的这个恐慌或者是没有办法解释。
So we can see from this that the Buddha, as the founder of Buddhism, did so not as a result of his fear towards the natural environment.
那么他的创建一个这样子的这个佛法的这个动机是什么呢？动机就是慈悲心。
His motivation in founding and developing Buddhism was rather compassion.
以慈悲心作为出发点。
So his departure point was compassion.
然后他要找到的这个方法是什么呢？方法就是智慧。
And his method in this project was wisdom.
就是超越我们的普通的感官的一种这样子的一个超级的智慧。
A kind of wisdom that transcends the ordinary wisdom of our sensorial perceptions.
他完全相信这个宇宙之间应该有这样子的智慧的存在。
He had utter belief, firm belief that he would be able to obtain or that there existed this kind of wisdom.
然后他就在这个当时的印度非常出名的几位禅修的大师那里学了一些方法。
And so he went to study various techniques with famous practice masters or meditation masters at the time.
但是这些禅修呢修到最高境界的时候呢，他也就发现了这个还是不能解决最终极的问题。
However, he discovered when he really reached the highermost levels of practice that these meditation techniques had, he still wasn't able to solve the ultimate problem.
然后就是在不吃不喝这样子的这个苦行6年。
And so fasting, not drinking, not eating for a period of 6 years.
最后他发现这个不吃不喝当苦行僧也不能解决问题。
He discovered that doing that, not drinking and not eating and fasting, itself didn't solve the problem.
这种方法几乎是失败了。
This approach was, in essence, a failure.
然后呢，他就接受了这个别人的供养，然后吃东西，放弃了这个不吃不喝的苦行僧的生活。
So accepting the offering of food that was made to him, by eating, he ended his years of ascetic fasting practice.
他觉得这样子的这个不吃不喝只能折腾自己的身体，但是呢，如果没有其他的方法，这个方法还是不能解决问题。
He ultimately decided that not eating and not drinking was only causing torture or suffering to his physical body, and that ultimately was not solving the problem that he was most focused on.
然后他在当时的这个非常德高望重的这些禅师，从他们那里学到的这些东西呢，他也修到最高境界了。他修到最高境界的时候，他就发现这个只能人的心平静下来，但是呢，最终的问题还是不能解决。
And having reached the highest levels of practice under the most esteemed meditation teachers of his day, he discovered that whilst these meditation techniques were able to bring him great calmness in his mind, they weren't able to fix or address the root problem.
然后最后他决定离开这个他苦行6年的这个地方去寻找另外一种方法。
So he decided to leave the place that he had been in ascetic practice for 6 years and to go somewhere else and search for a new approach.
最后就是来到了印度的菩提伽亚。
he ended up finally arriving in Bodh Gaya.
就在菩提伽亚大佐就寻找另外一个方法。
And through meditating at Bodh Gaya, he was searching for a new method.
另外一个方法呢，他第一个不是苦行的生活。
So this new method was not about ascetic practice.
第二个呢，也不仅仅是一个心平静的一个方法。
And nor was this new practice simply about calming the mind.
而是一个彻底的了解这个人生万事万物的本心，这样子的智慧。
Rather, what he was searching for was an all-penetrating wisdom of the essence of human existence.
然后就在这个印度菩提伽亚，他寻找这样子的这个方法，最后他就真正的成功了。
And through searching for this method, this approach through meditation at Bodh Gaya, finally he was successful.
所谓的成功，就是他彻底的明白了这个人生世界的真相。
So when we talk about this success, what we mean is he obtained a complete understanding of the truth of existence.
然后他彻底的明白了这些人为什么不想生病也要生病不想吃苦也得要吃苦，不想衰老也要衰老。
And he arrived at an understanding of why people have to get sick and get sick when they don't want to get sick, how they age when they don't want to age, how they undergo suffering when no one wants to undergo suffering.
他知道这些人为什么这样子痛苦的这个原因的时候呢，同时他也知道了解决的方法，他也找到了这个解决的方法。
When he obtained an understanding of the reasons for these sufferings, he simultaneously discovered the means to resolving or fixing them.
他觉得其实这个解决方法是一个非常简单的方法。
And what he discovered was that the means to solving these problems was in fact very simple.
因为这跟我们生老病死从复杂一点来讲的话，当然有太多的原因。
Of course, from one perspective, birth, aging, illness, death have many contributing factors.
但是简单的讲，非常的简单就是因为不懂一个道理，所以就是发生了这一系列的问题。
But putting things in a simple way, we can say that it's because people don't understand one key logic that these following sufferings take place.
这个心态就叫做在佛教里面就叫做无明。
And this state of mind is referred to in Buddhism as ignorance.
因为无明，因为不了解这个世界到底是什么然后就是导致了太多的就是痛苦。
So because we don't understand the nature of the world, because of this ignorance, it precipitates a great deal of suffering.
那么这个解决的方法也是非常的简单，就是彻底的了解这个世界的真相，就这么简单，了解就可以了。
So the means to addressing this suffering is extremely easy, it's extremely simple, and what it is arriving at a thorough understanding of the truth of the world.
就像大摩祖师在他的几个小的论点里面讲得非常的清楚。
Just like the sixth then patriarch wrote in his various writings.
他说什么呢？他就是说，正午的时候，我们正午的时候就叫做佛。
When we obtain awakening, we are the Buddha.
没有正午的时候呢，就叫做众生。
And until we have obtained awakening, we are mere mortals, ordinary beings.
那么众生和佛，他是说没有本质上的区别。
ordinary beings and the Buddha don't have some essential difference.
它的区别就是真无和不真无。
The only difference between them is whether or not they are awakened.
所以释迦牟尼佛他所找到的这个解决的方法就是智慧。
So for this reason, the means to addressing this problem the Buddha was looking for was wisdom.
他要创设一个这样子的这个方法的动机或者是出发点就是利他的心。
And his motivation in doing so was an altruistic mind to benefit others.
在这个释迦牟尼佛的故事当中我们就可以看到佛教其实佛教的核心就是两件事情。
So from the story of the Buddha, we can see that Buddhism is in fact about two key things.
第一个就是利他之心，也叫做菩提心。
The first one being the altruistic mind to benefit others, otherwise known as bodhicitta.
第二个就是真悟的智慧。
And the second being the wisdom of awakening.
这两个就叫做在佛教里面就叫做智悲。
And in Buddhism, we refer to this as wisdom and compassion.
智和悲这两个字当中呢，就是已经包含了整个佛教的整个大乘佛教的内容。
So these two words, wisdom and compassion, in themselves encompass the entire content of the Mahayana Buddhist tradition.
好，这样子的话，我们就是要知道佛教的创始佛教的这个动机，不是对大自然或者对某一件事情的恐慌，而是利他。
So from this, what we need to understand is that the origin of Buddhism was not in a fear for the natural environment or something else, but rather the mind to be of benefit to other beings.
然后所有问题解决的方法，它不是求神求鬼，而是自己学习通达真理真悟，就是这个智慧。
And the means to addressing problems is not to supplicate deities and ghosts, but through one's own study to arouse one's wisdom.
简单的说这两个就是我们对佛教的一个正确的认识。
So putting it simply, understanding these two things is arriving at an accurate understanding of Buddhism.
好，那么我们学佛什么叫做学佛呢？学佛也就是向释迦牟尼佛学习，就叫做学佛。
So when we talk about studying Buddhism, what we really mean is studying like the Sakyamuni Buddha.
我想我们今天在座的当中，可能是80%、90%这样子的人都是学佛的。
Probably around 80 to 90% of everybody here tonight are students of Buddhism.
那么学佛，我们怎么学佛呢？就学释迦牟尼佛的这两件事。就第一个是利他之心，第二个就是真悟的智慧。
So as students of Buddhism, what we have to do is study precisely these two things. Firstly, the altruistic mind of benefiting others, and secondly, the wisdom of awakening.
这两个就是我们学佛的人的所奋斗的目标。
For students of Buddhism, these are the objects or the goals that we are striving towards.
我们学佛的过程当中的这个所有的事情都围绕着这两件事。
And in the course of our studies of Buddhism, everything revolves around these two key objectives.
智悲双运，就是说我们既要智慧又要慈悲两个都有，这个叫做智悲双运。
The combined approach of compassion and wisdom refers to the fact that we need to utilize them together.
那么智悲双运这两个当中呢，就是包含了所有的佛教的内容，所以我们学佛的时候呢，就学这两个就可以了。
So because compassion and wisdom embody all of the content of the Buddhist tradition, as students of Buddhism, it's these that we have to study. These are the essence of our learning.
好，那么学佛的这个我们目标就是这样子。那么这个学习的方法过程是什么样子呢？就是3个字，就叫做闻思修。
So if these are the objects or the objectives of our study, the method that we take revolves around 3 words: learning or study, contemplation, and meditation or practice.
那么闻就是听闻佛法，我们要去学习怎么样去修这个利他心，也就是菩提心怎么样去学智慧，这个方法我们要先要去听，这叫做闻。
So when we talk about the first one, study or to listen, what we're referring to is to listen and to listen to teachings about how to practice, how to cultivate bodhicitta, etc. The first study or listening refers to this.
第二个就是思就是思考思维因为佛教里面讲的很多的道理都是比较深奥的东西，所以呢我们光是听不一定能够理解，所以呢还是要去深入的去思考。
And the second reflection or contemplation means to think deeply about that which we've heard. Simply listening might not of itself enable us to arrive at a complete understanding, so it's necessary to reflect on what we've heard.
闻和思这2个是非常非常的重要，因为我们学习的时候呢这个学佛的时候怎么样去学，方法是什么，目的是什么，这些所有的这些这个过程我们要去听如果我们自己去看书的话，那么我们的这个理解不一定是对，所以必须要去听。
So these 2, listening or learning and contemplation or reflection, are extremely important in our process of learning. It's of course possible for us to read books on our own, but by doing so we might not arrive at a completely accurate understanding. So for this reason it's necessary for us to actually listen to teachings.
就像我们在学校读书的时候呢，就是要去听老师的课并不是我们自己去拿一本书看就可以。
Similar to the way in school or university we listen to classes that are given by teachers, it's not simply sufficient that we read a book on our own.
然后呢，听完了以后呢，也不是永远都听，还需要自己去思考，尤其是独立思考是最重要的一部分。
And having heard what the teacher said, we then need to go and think for ourselves, critically reflect on that which we have heard.
在藏传佛教里面，这种独立思考的方法，有个最好的方法，也就是最有效的方法，就是辩论。
In the Tibetan tradition, the most effective way of reflecting and critically interrogating that which we've heard is the method of debate.
那么我们学佛的时候呢，也可以辩论或者是大家可以讨论也可以达到这个辩论的效果。
So in the process of learning Buddhism, we too can engage in debate, or at least discussion, and through discussion arrive at similar results to that which are achieved through debate.
思维其实是非常非常的重要，因为我们的这个很多的我们自己的内心当中的痛苦以及我们的这些错误的观念这一切都是我们自己没有看到这个真相而产生的。
So this process of reflection and critical interrogation is extremely important because a lot of the time, much of our mental anguish and suffering is the result of not having a proper understanding of the truth of things.
然后我们就是这个听得越多，思考的越多，这样子我们对这个世界的认识越深。
The more we hear and the more we reflect, the more we'll be able to have a deeper understanding of the world.
实际上这个世界从佛教的角度来讲，佛教它不会说这个世界是一个造物主创造的。
From a Buddhist point of view, the world would not be described as having been invented or created by a independent creating force.
它会告诉我们这个世界是我们人创造的。
The Buddhist tradition would say, in fact, that the world was constructed by humans.
比如说我们看到的颜色红、黄、白、黑等等等等的这些颜色我们以为这是外面的世界，这是物质的这个颜色是存在的，但是呢，实际上这个颜色是我们自己的大脑里面的一个图像，不是外面的东西。实际上这个我们的衣服的颜色是我们自己创造的。
So, for example, the spectrum of colors that we perceive in the world around us, we interpret as being the objective way things are, but in actual fact, the colors that we perceive are the sensorial result of our eyes. In fact, the colors that we see are created by our mind and are not independently existent in the external world.
然后我们看到的这些物质的这个形状，比如说四方形、椭圆形、圆形、长方形等等等等这些所有的这些形状实际上这个物质它本身是没有形状，但是呢，因为这些电子的这个高速运动在我们的视觉里面呢，就创造了一种幻觉而已。所以这些桌子、椅子、房子、建筑物的形状也是我们的视觉创造的。
And similarly, the shapes of the myriad objects that we see in the world around us are not objectively the shapes that we see them to be. Rather, it's the process of flux in the atoms of these things that create an illusion in our minds that they are the shape that they appear to be.
就像我们做梦的时候，在梦里面所看到的一切，它不是外在的也不是万能神造物主或者是某一个其他的生命创造，而是做梦的人他自己创造的。
It's similar to when we're dreaming. The things that we see in the dream are not created by a god or some other kind of force. They're the result of the person who is having the dream.
但是我们没有听没有去思考这样子的时候呢，我们不觉得这个世界是我们的感官创造的。
But until we've really listened to the Buddha's teachings and reflected on them, then we don't understand that the world that we perceive it to be is in fact the illusion of our senses.
因为我们的感官非常非常适应这些错觉和幻觉。
Because our senses are extremely accustomed to and adapted to the misperceptions and illusions of our senses.
所以只要有这些错觉，我们才能够正常的生活。
And it's only if we have these misperceptions and illusions that we can live and function in a normal way.
我们现在已经非常非常的适应，就生活在这个庞大的错误、幻觉、虚幻的世界当中。
We're by now thoroughly and completely accustomed to living in a vast world of illusion and misperception.
但是如果没有正常的这个闻和思这样子的话，我们永远都不知道我们实际上就生活在一个什么样的世界里面。
But we wouldn't know about the real nature of the kind of world that we're living in unless we engage in a process of listening, learning, and critical reflection and contemplation.
我们把很多很多实际上不存在的东西我们创造这样子的物质，然后创造了以后呢，我们自己去 执着这个东西。
What we end up doing is creating a lot of things from nothing, and having created them, then clinging to them or regarding them with attachment.
就像我们梦里面呢，做梦的时候，我们梦到自己结婚了、生子了，然后就特别执着这个自己的这个子女一样的。
It's like having a dream that we have become married, we're married and we've got children, and in the dream becoming extremely attached to our children.
梦里的这个子女也是我们自己做梦的人创造的。
Of course, the sons and daughters in our dream are the outcome or the fiction of the person who is having the dream.
执着，我们对这个子女的执着或者是在乎，也是我们自己。
And the attachment or clinging or fixation that we have on these children is the product of our own minds.
或者是我们在梦里见到了某一种仇人，然后就非常的仇恨一样。
It's the same if in a dream we were meeting some kind of enemy that we felt great hatred and resentment towards.
梦的世界里面没有仇人，这个仇人也是自己创造的。
Of course, there's no independently existent enemy in the dream. It's the creation of the dreamer.
虽然是自己创造的，但是呢，当我们不知道这个是自己创造的时候呢，我们一样的仇恨，一样的这个抱怨。
So even though this person is the result, is our own construction or creation, until we know that, or unless we know that, then we will feel resentment or hatred towards them.
梦里面的儿女虽然是我们自己创造的，但是呢，当我们还不知道这个是自己创造的时候呢，我们一样的在乎，一样的这个执着。
And similarly, the sons and daughters in our dream, though they are the creation of our own minds, until we know this to be the fact, we will feel great clinging and attachment towards them.
跟现实生活几乎就是没有什么区别。
So the situation in the dream and the situation in the reality of our lives virtually has no difference between the two.
那么唯一的方法是什么呢？就是要知道这个是梦，这个是虚幻，这个是不存在。
So the only way to really go about transcending this is to understand that it is a dream, to understand that it is illusory, and that it doesn't have independent existence.
就像我们做某一种噩梦特别恐惧特别这个悲伤这样子的时候呢，突然间知道这个是梦，然后呢，所有的恐慌，所有的不开心不需要其他的任何的理由，一下子就消失。
It's like being in the middle of a nightmare, a terrible, scary, terrifying nightmare, and then suddenly realizing that one is in a dream. And then upon this realization, all of this fear and terror immediately dissipates with no other force needed at all.
如果我们不知道，比如说一个梦如果我们不知道这个是梦，或者是说我们这个梦里面没办法醒过来，这样子的话呢，这个就是现实生活，跟现实生活没有什么区别的。
But a dream that we can't awake from, or a dream that we can't realize is a dream, is pretty similar, in fact, to the condition of everyday existence.
那么不知道这个是梦的时候呢就是梦，知道这个是梦的时候呢，就是虚幻的世界。
So until we realize that it is a dream, it is a dream. And then realizing that it is a dream, then it is an illusory world.
另外这个可能没有表达的清楚，我的意思就是说，当我们还不知道这个是梦的时候呢，这个是真实的世界。当我们知道这个是梦的时候呢，就是虚拟的世界真实和虚拟不是 这个梦它本身来决定，而是我们知道和不知道来决定。
So whether or not what we are experiencing is a dream or an illusory world depends on our awareness of the fact of being in a dream or not.
比如说我们昨天晚上我们做过的梦我们今天来问大家，大家都会说这是假的。
So, for example, dreams that we had in our sleep last night, if you were to ask people about them today, then of course everybody would know that they were not real.
为什么这样子回答呢？因为我们已经醒过来了，所以大家都知道这个是假的。
And the reason for this is that, of course, by now we've all awoken from the dream, so we know that it was not in fact real.
所以对我们来说，这个实际上也是一个假的世界。
So, from our point of view, the dream last night was an unreal world.
但是如果这个梦我们现在还在继续的话，那么这个时候有人问我们这个是真或者假，我们一定会说这个是真实的世界。
However, if the dream was still continuing and we were still in it, and someone were to ask us whether it were real or whether it were unreal, of course we would answer that it were real.
没有人回答这个是虚拟的世界。
Nobody would say that it is an illusory world.
那么梦的这个真和假就是不是它梦自己的本质上有什么区别。
So whether a dream is in fact real or unreal is not to do with the essence of the dream itself.
而是我们面对这个梦里面的东西的态度来决定它是真或是假。
Rather, it's the attitude with which we approach the dream, whether it's real or whether it's unreal.
在现实生活当中，任何一个不存在的东西，如果我们把它当作是存在的这样子的话，它就是在我们的心里起到存在的作用。
In our everyday lives, an object or phenomenon that is not truly existing, if we interpret it or treat it as being truly existent, then the effect it will have on us is as if it were truly existent.
那么梦里面的这些所有的痛苦解决的方法它不是其他的，就是知道是梦就可以了。
So in terms of dealing with the nature of the dream, there is no other way other than arriving at an understanding and awareness that what is taking place is a dream.
知道或者明白，这个就是智慧。
So knowing this or understanding this is wisdom.
那么还有一个更高级别的智慧，就是这个智慧呢，可以知道我们的现实生活也是虚假的世界，也就像梦一样。
So there is a level of wisdom that is even higher than this, which is about understanding, in fact, that our everyday realities are also illusory.
有了这样子的这个智慧的时候呢，然后我们对这个世界，也就是像我们在正在做梦的时候，知道是梦一样，对这个世界的执着，对这个世界的恐慌，对这个世界的欲望等等所有的这些负面的情绪、烦恼，也就是这个时候都会结束的。
And when we've arrived at this kind of understanding, it's like being in a dream and knowing that we're in a dream. And at this point, all of the negative emotions that usually arise in our lives, from fear to attachment, desire, etc., will, of their own cause, dissipate.
这个就是这个超级的智慧。
This is a kind of super or transcendental wisdom.
那么我们如果需要获得一个这样子的超级的智慧的话，那么我们刚才讲的除了闻和思以外，还需要一个修。
But if we want to obtain this kind of transcendent or super wisdom, then in addition to the first two things that we mentioned of listening and contemplating, we further need to work on practice or meditation.
修心就是一种训练。
Practice is a kind of training.
这种训练可以把我们的通过我们通过这个闻和思所得到的这个智慧通过这种训练可以提升到一个很高级别的智慧。
What practice or meditation enables us to do is to take the wisdom that we have derived from listening and contemplation and advance it to an even higher level.
这种智慧呢，它就是一种直觉它可以直接感觉到这个物质和这个世界的真相。
And this kind of super knowledge is a way of having direct cognizance or perception of the external world.
它就是一个体悟、体会、证悟。
This kind of awakening is an experiential realization.
禅宗里面有一句话，就是说如人饮水，冷暖自知这个时候直接就知道这个世界到底是什么样。
There is a saying in the Chan tradition, which I'm not completely able to translate, but it refers to having direct perception of the nature of the phenomena of the world.
那么这个时候呢，我们的所有的这些烦恼所有的痛苦就可以解决了。
And at this point in time, all of our negative emotions and obscurations can be solved at once.
但是不是一下子就当下就解决了，就是说开始解决这些问题了。
Of course, it's not as if all of these problems or negative emotions can be solved in one instant, but this is the beginning of our ability to solve them.
那明白了这个道理的时候呢，然后还有一段时间当中呢，要继续训练，继续修心。
So after having arrived at this realization or understanding, then we need to continue for a period of ongoing training and practice.
就是通过这种训练的方式，就是闻思修，尤其是修通过这种方法，可以把我们的这个心可以提升，把我们的智慧可以提升到人类智慧的最高境界。
So it's through this approach, through this method of listening, of contemplating and practice or meditation that we are able to upgrade or elevate our wisdom to the highest level, the zenith of possible human wisdom.
人类智慧的最高的境界，也就是佛的境界。
And the state of this highest wisdom is the wisdom of the Buddha.
在这个层面上呢，人就是佛，佛就是人。
And at this point, a person is the Buddha, and the Buddha is a person.
所以禅宗尤其是大摩祖师的一些论点特别是这个密法里面呢，就讲人与这个佛的区别，或者是众生与佛的区别就是没有本质上的区别，只是正悟和没有正悟的区别。
So the Chan tradition, and particularly the writings of the sixth patriarch and the tantric tradition as well, all say that there is no essential difference between an ordinary human and the Buddha. The difference is only that of whether or not one is awakened.
所以我们以后就是像真正想修行的人，想学佛的人，就是我们不需要做太多的事情，就是这三件事，就是闻思修。
So in the future, people, for those of us who want to study Buddhism and practice Buddhism, we really don't need to do too many other things than these three methods: learning, listening, contemplation, and meditational practice.
我们很多时候，我们自以为在学佛，其实根本不是学佛。
A lot of the time we fool ourselves into thinking that we are studying Buddhism, but in actual fact we're not.
什么样的学佛是不是学佛呢？比如说，我们为了自己的健康、长寿、发财、工作顺利，这是去求佛祖的保佑这样子不叫学佛，这个叫做求佛。
So one kind of way in which we can fool ourselves into thinking that we're studying Buddhism when we're not is when we study Buddhism for the sake of our own immediately worldly concerns such as richness, flourishing, good health, family harmony, etc. And then on this account supplicate the Buddha, etc. This is not studying Buddhism, but supplicating the Buddha.
然后我们去这个供佛烧高香。烧头香就是烧香拜佛那么我们很多人以为这个就是学佛，这个不是学佛，这个就叫做供佛。
And a lot of people think that by making incense offerings and other such offerings to the Buddha and Buddhist statues is also being a student of Buddhism. But in actual fact, this is called making offerings to the Buddha.
那么真正的学佛就是不是求佛，也不是供佛，就是向释迦牟尼佛学习，就是以闻思修这个方法来向释迦牟尼佛学习。
So being a real student of Buddhism is not about supplicating the Buddha or making offerings to the Buddha. It's about following the model of the Sakyamuni Buddha in listening, contemplating, and engaging in meditational practice.
所以我们学佛的人呢有些时候有必要的时候呢也可以供佛，也可以求佛，但是呢重点核心就是学佛。
So for students of Buddha, of course, at certain times it may be appropriate or you can supplicate the Buddha or make offerings to the Buddha, but the real core focus of our work or practice should be following the Buddha's approach in learning, contemplating and practice.
核心就是闻思修。
This is the core or pith of our practice work.
这样子以后呢，我们通过这个闻思修可以净化自己的心灵，可以提升自己的生命的级别。
So through engaging in study, reflection and practice, we can really refine and elevate our human existences to an extremely high level.
那么我们为了生存，也要去工作，要去上班，要去赚钱，但是呢，同时也就不能没有这样子的学佛。
Of course, in order for the sake of our livelihoods, we need to go out, we need to work, we need to make money, but we cannot abandon the study of Buddhism.
因为我们如果不懂得提升我们自己的生命的级别的话，那我们的身边的这身外之物再怎么样提升，再怎么样也好，最终还是不能解决最终极的问题。
The reason being that if we don't understand the importance of really elevating or refining our human selves, then regardless what level of material flourishing we might obtain in our lives, we still won't be able to resolve our ultimate problems.
我们的生命的真正的意义不在于吃喝玩乐。
Really, the ultimate meaning and the ultimate purpose of our existences is not in the sensual pleasures of worldly life.
如果我们的生命的意义就只有这些吃喝玩乐这样子的话，那么人的生命的价值跟动物就是没有什么区别的。
Because if the ultimate meaning of our existences were these worldly pleasures, then really human life would have no difference from that of animals.
佛教里面经常讲人生难得，为什么难得呢？就是因为有一个这么好的选择，有提升自己的生命的这样子的选择，所以就是人生难得。
The reason that the Buddhist tradition frequently refers to the preciousness of human life is precisely because of the fact that human existence gives us the choice, the option of refining our existence.
那么我们每天就这个除了上班的时间以外应该大家也就是基础一些时间比如说早上1个小时，晚上1个小时这样子的时间来学习和打坐。
So everybody, in addition to doing the work that they have to do every day, should try to set aside some time to engage in Buddhist study and practice.
然后星期六、星期天这样子的时候，如果没有什么很特殊的情况的话，那就是多安排一些时间来学习和修行。
And on the weekends, if there is nothing special that you have to do, then more time can be allocated towards Buddhist practice.
然后节假日的时候呢，我们可以在这个周边去找一些，如果有佛教的寺庙，就是在寺庙里面；如果没有寺庙也没问题的，就是在山里面或者是在这个郊区找一些稍微比较安静的地方去闭关的形式打坐打坐3天、7天，这样子也是非常有效果的。
And during holidays, when we've got more time, we can also engage in short-term retreats of perhaps 3 to 7 days. If there is no monastic or Dharma center facility available, then we can go to quiet places in the mountains.
如果我们不懂得这个闻思修心，不懂得提升自己的生命这样子的话，那就是我们的人生的意义确实就是没有什么太大的意义。
If we don't understand the importance of elevating and refining our human selves, and don't appreciate the importance of learning and contemplating and meditation in this practice, then ultimately our lives don't have much meaning.
在我们的生活当中，或者是在我们的生命当中有幸福有快乐，但是呢非常非常的短暂。
Even though in the course of our everyday lives we do have happiness and we do have joy, at the end of the day they are quite ephemeral.
这个就是事实，我们大家都不能不承认。
This is a fact. It's something that no one can afford not to accept.
如果我们的生命只能追求这些，没有其他的选择，这样子的话，那么人的确是非常的可怜。
If we had no choice in our everyday lives but to pursue these things, then we would be extremely poor and pitiable as human beings.
那么这样子的人生观，实际上也是一个非常非常小气的人生观。
And this is an extremely negative kind. This would be an extremely negative kind of worldview.
从佛教的角度来讲，人有很多的选择，有很多的希望，有很多的追求。
From the Buddhist point of view, humans have a lot of options. They have a lot of choices, they have a lot of hopes, and they have a lot of things they can pursue.
从佛教的角度来讲，我们每一个人都有权利有资格享受自己的生命当中或者生活当中的这些幸福或快乐。
From the Buddhist point of view, we as human beings have the right and have the entitlement to enjoy the happiness in our lives.
为什么呢？因为这些幸福、这些快乐不是无因无缘的，就是我们自己的上意识积累福报、做善事，所以我们这一生当中就有这个快乐和幸福，所以这是我们就有资格有权利去享受这个幸福和快乐。
And the reason that we have the entitlement to enjoy the happiness and joy that we encounter in this life is precisely because what we have in this life is the result of virtue and merits accumulated in previous lives. So it's on this account that we have the right to enjoy them in our current lives.
但是佛告诉我们 佛告诉我们，千万不要沉迷在这个眼前的这一点点的幸福和快乐当中。
However, what the Buddha taught us was not to sink into a state of intoxicated oblivion in the ephemeral happiness that we have in this lifetime.
佛陀鼓励我们享受现在的这个人的这个幸福的同时，我们要去创造更高级别的这个幸福，或者是永恒的幸福。
So while encouraging and licensing us to enjoy the happiness that we encounter in this lifetime, the Buddha urged us to work towards making a higher level of, or achieving a higher level of happiness.
因为我们的现在我们的这个所谓的幸福呢，第一个很短暂，第二个就是一个相对的幸福，就我们没有绝对的幸福。
The reason being that the happiness and the joys we currently have are firstly ephemeral and secondly only relative in nature.
我们的幸福当中有太多的不幸福的东西。
Actually, amid our happinesses, there are so many unhappinesses.
所以佛告诉我们，你可以享受这些幸福，但是呢，不可以沉迷在这个幸福当中。
So what the Buddha taught was that it is okay to enjoy the happinesses that we have, but not to, not to wallow in this happiness.
就是佛告诉我们，我们每一个人必须要积极向上，要更上一层楼。
What we are instead to do is to continually set our sights higher and work towards a more elevated form of happiness.
这是一个非常积极的人生的态度。
So this is in fact a really striving and diligent kind of approach to life.
它给我们带来很多的新的追求和希望。
And this brings us a lot of new things to set our sights on and a lot of new hopes.
这样子以后呢，我们一定会感觉到这个人的生命是非常的有意义，然后我们也可以感觉到这个我们的生活非常的充实。
And through applying this approach in our lives, we will discover or feel that life is in fact full of meaning and is extremely rich.
好，接下来我们简单的介绍一下这个最后的这个文思修里面的修的过程或者是它的次第。
So from here on in, I'd like to talk about the meditational practice component of the 3 steps that I just described: study or listening and contemplation. So I'd like to introduce the process of, or the gradual steps involved in meditational practice.
那么这个修行的最基础的修行是什么呢？这叫做出离心。
The most basic stage of this practice is the mind of renunciation.
出离心就是意思就是说，它就是确定我们的人生的方向。
And what cultivating the mind of renunciation enables us to do is ascertain a direction in our lives.
也就是给我们树立了一个永恒的这个人生的目标。
It enables us to set an eternal goal or a destination in our lives.
那么什么样子叫做出离心呢？
What do we mean when we talk about renunciation?
出离心并不是说我们从今以后不工作、不上班、不要家庭，所有的放弃。
When we talk about the mind of renunciation, we're not saying that from here on in we're not going to work, we don't need families, we don't need anything, we're going to abandon it all.
也不是说我们放弃所有的这些世俗的这个幸福和快乐。
And it also doesn't mean that we have to abandon all kinds of worldly enjoyments and happinesses.
就是说，可以去 可以去工作，可以去赚钱，可以去享受这个人世间的幸福，但是呢，必须要知道这一切都不是我们的生命的最终极的目标。
Of course, we can still continue to work, to make money, to enjoy various pleasures, but what we need to do is realize that these things are not the ultimate goals of our lives.
这些都是我们的一种生活的方式。
These are no more than essentially our lifestyle.
那么我们生活的时候呢，自己的生活的品质希望稍微高一点都没问题的，佛教不反对这一点。
If, for example, we want to have a somewhat higher standard of lifestyle, then there's no problem with this. The Buddha didn't have any objection with this.
那么所谓的这个生活的水平或者是生活的品质高，也就是这就是一种生活的方式而已，并不是生存的目标。
So the level of lifestyle, whether high or low, is nothing more than that lifestyle. It's not the ultimate goal of human existence.
目标就是说我最终必须要超越这个生老病死，超越这样子的这个轮回只要有这样子的决心，就叫做出离心。
So what renunciation is, the mind of renunciation is the conviction, the determination to ultimately transcend samsaric existence.
这种出离心就不是每个人都有。
The mind of renunciation is not something that everyone has.
几乎不可能先天就有这样子的出离心。
Almost without exception, it's not possible to have this mind of renunciation intrinsically or inherently.
但是如果我们接受这个出离心的训练的方式去训练的话，所有人都可以有出离心。
However, if we take on or if we engage in the practice of or the trainings of cultivating the mind of renunciation, then it is indeed something that everybody can obtain.
那么这个出离心的训练的方式就叫做思嘉心。
And the method of training in cultivating the mind of renunciation is referred to as the 4 common preliminaries.
我想我们今天在座的可能大部分的人都知道什么是思嘉心。
And these 4 common preliminaries are probably something that most people here tonight know about.
希望大家这个好好的修出离心思嘉心。
And I really wish that everybody here tonight applies themselves earnestly to the practice of these 4 preliminaries.
思嘉心的具体的内容，我们因为今天时间的关系，我们不介绍。
Because of tonight's time limits, where I'm not going to give a detailed description of the 4 preliminaries.
然后我们的修行的第二步就是菩提心。
The second stage in our practice, our meditational practice, is the cultivation of bodhicitta.
那么菩提心就是需要修慈悲心。
So the cultivation of bodhicitta requires us to practice the generation of compassion.
菩提心的修法就是无家心的修法当中的其中一个。
And the way of doing this relies on one of the 4 common preliminaries.
那么我们希望大家好好修无家心。
So I really wish that everybody applies themselves to the practice of the 5 uncommon preliminaries.
那么无家心的修行的内容呢，也就比较多，所以我们今天也不介绍。但是呢，大家可以这个学这个无家心的这些音频、视频、书都可以学的。
Because the content of the preliminary practices is quite in-depth and complex, I'm not going to introduce it tonight, but I hope that everybody learns or studies it for themselves through books or DVDs or other kinds of medium.
那么纽约也有这个菩提学会那么菩提学会里面呢有这个修家心的一个班那么我们想学习的想修行的人 可以参加这个班里面学习和修行。
In New York, there is a Puti Xiaohui Dharma group, and they have a class devoted to preliminary practices, so people who are interested in studying them can take part or join this class.
这样子大家一起集中共修，这样子的话呢，就是比自己一个人修行的这个力度还好一些。
By getting together and joining in collective practice, then you will have a kind of energy that is greater than when you try to approach this practice on your own.
因为我们这个很多师兄聚在一起共修、共同的学习，这样子的话呢，很多时候也可以讨论很多时候呢，相互也可以监督然后呢，也可以鼓励，就是一定会有自己的这个修行有帮助。
Because when fellow Dharma practitioners get together and practice together, they can help each other, they can encourage each other, discuss things with each other, monitor each other, and this can have great benefit for everyone's practice.
最后也就是就可以创造一个文思修行的风气。
And through these efforts, create a really good atmosphere for the practice of study, contemplation, and meditation.
这样子我们也可以影响到更多的这个学佛的人，让大家也就走上这个珍贵的学佛的道路上。
And through doing this, have a greater impact and influence on other people who are studying Buddhism and help them to get themselves on an accurate and productive path.
然后这个无家心修完了以后呢，然后再去修空性。
After the preliminary practices are completed, we then move on to meditation on emptiness.
空性在汉传佛教里面有非常好的空性，就是禅宗。
Of course, in meditations on emptiness, the Chinese tradition has the excellent tradition of Chan.
藏传佛教里面呢，就是有像大圆满、大手印这些都是修空性的。
In the Tibetan tradition, we have the Dzogchen teachings and the Mahamudra teachings.
就是修了这些空性以后呢，最终修的比较到位的时候呢，然后就可以证悟空性。
And when we've really engaged in these practices to a fairly complete or appropriate extent, then we can develop a really thorough appreciation or accurate appreciation of emptiness.
这个就是第三个步骤。
This is the third stage in our meditation process.
这也就是宗喀巴大师的这个三主要道里面讲的出离心、菩提心和证悟空性。
And these are essentially the three stages of the path that Tsongkhapa described.
那么这三个的具体的修法呢，就是我们还是要稍微花一点时间，一个一个的去学，学完了以后呢，大家好好修。
In terms of the concrete practice of each of these steps, they require a bit of time. First of all, we need to understand, study what we're meant to do, and then apply ourselves to the actual practice of them.
那么这样子修行的话，我们会越来越感觉到人生其实非常有意义。
And as we progress along this path of practice, we will increasingly feel that, in fact, human existence is full of meaning.
生活也非常有意义。
Living human life is really very meaningful.
所以最终我们还是可以走上一个这个解脱的道路。
And eventually find ourselves on a path to liberation.
希望大家努力。
I hope everybody works towards this diligently.
好，我们今天的这个课就讲到这里。